Hi, Karina here. Welcome to my dear aubergine. I'm going to show you today how to make khachapuri. Khachapuri is a cheese pie made on top of a stove, no oven is involved, very quick and easy and delicious, and it's very commonly made in Georgia. If you never made dough before, not to worry, this video is just for you. I will show you step by step how to make a simple basic dough, and once you watch this video you will be confident. I promise to make any kind of dough. I'm making khachapuri today to say thank you to my neighbor who presented me yesterday with lovely fried fish, tiny, of that size, which was absolutely divine, and I want to return the plate full, and I promise to deliver khachapuri by 1 o'clock, so the time is ticking. Let's start. The dough is made out of just 2 ingredients, natural yogurt and flour. So I've measured here 250 grams of natural yogurt, and I've never measured flour before for this dough, so I just took a guess and measured 350, and we will see how much flour the dough will take, so I can give you exact proportions. And of course bear in mind that because flours vary, there would be adjustment. Room temperature preferably. So in the beginning I'll just bravely put quite a lot of flour, and then obviously as you go add more carefully, because we are aiming for a soft dough here. It's about that much. So we added quite a lot of flour to start with to speed things up. No point of doing it slowly at this stage. Okay, there. It's very convenient to use self-raising flour here, but if you don't have self-raising, just use 2 teaspoons of baking powder per 150 grams of plain flour. I've tried to make this recipe lighter, as light as possible, and it does not affect taste at all actually. Instead of full fat yogurt, I use fat-free yogurt. Nice lump, which we can continue now on a table. If you feel like cleaning your hands, if they are too sticky, just rub them together with flour. See, dough is like that, so it's totally not ready at the moment. You might have a question, how do I know when the dough is ready? You will feel when you press like that, you will feel suddenly it becomes resistant, elastic. It still sticks, see, it doesn't offer me any resistance as yet. So add flour tiny bit by tiny bit and keep kneading. I press and it fights back. We're getting there soon, I could feel. So you definitely will feel. You won't miss that, that stage when it's ready. Just keep your hands lightly dusted, surface very lightly dusted. If you add too much flour now, you risk getting a not soft dough, and then it's not going to be nice. So we're aiming for very soft dough here. This particular dough, it's ever so slightly kind of more sticky than the dough you make with water, not yogurt. So the other, the water-based doughs are even easier to make. So this one takes, I think, tiny bit more time, in my experience anyway. So yeah, we're getting there. It's clearly noticeable. Obviously the more you play with it, so to say, like my mother-in-law used to say, the better. as long as you don't add too much extra flour. So all but that much actually gone in, and this one we probably will use when we gonna roll it out. I think I timed it. It's about 5 minutes took us to make this dough. Lovely. See, it wants to roll itself in a ball. Plenty of resistance at the moment. It's lovely and elastic. Very soft too. This is actually half of my normal portion. Normally I do it out of a standard tub of yogurt, 500 grams. Kids love it, I must say. And just think, it's full of calcium. The dough made of yogurt and cheese inside. So it's a Georgian answer to Italian pizza, I suppose. It's still slightly, ever so slightly sticky. Don't worry, that's normal. Not that sticky, but ever so slightly sticky. But we better leave it like that than adding more flour. So be careful at the end. It's very nice. Nice to handle. So it's a good idea to let dough rest a little bit for 15 minutes. It becomes even more elastic, and you can use this time to make a filling. Okay, so we let it rest. So obviously in Georgia they have authentic cheese, suluguni it's called, which is stringy when it's heated like mozzarella, but it's yellow kind of, I think it's richer and more salty than mozzarella kind of. So when you mix mozzarella and feta, you get very authentic result actually here. And I know for a fact this is what they do in restaurants outside of Georgia. So equal amounts of those two cheeses. So we have 250 grams of mix of those two cheeses. Let's see how much one khachapuri will take. I'm curious myself. Okay, dough gone very, very soft. Even we will add from our reserve of 2 tablespoons tiny bit of flour. So we will divide it in 3. I thought it's going to be 2 khachapuris, but because the pan is quite small, the one I want to use, it's 24 centimeters pan. There it is at the ready. I've decided to divide my dough to 3 because we want the khachapuris being quite thin. We don't want a thick layer of dough here. So keep it covered. Hands lightly dusted, rolling pin lightly dusted. Olive oil at the ready, because my other trick to lighten the recipe is, instead of butter, which they would put in, like good piece of butter, olden days, I put olive oil, and it really comes out as nice in my books. Doesn't affect the taste. Obviously olive oil is totally not authentic ingredient. I keep forgetting to do that. Substitute part of the your plain white flour, half of it or 1/3, 1/4 with wholemeal flour. Should be nice as well. I should sort of try it next time. And so make sure the dough doesn't stick, like keep lifting it and dust slightly with flour. I would advise you to have everything room temperature. Yeah, so all of it went in. I'll pour a good sort of swirl of olive oil, enough. And now Just let's make it into the pouch. I'm not very sure that I put right amount of cheese because at home I always use ready grated mozzarella frozen in my freezer. So it's been years since I used fresh mozzarella. There we are, cute little pouch. Make sure your pan is hot. Put it on here and straighten it right in the pan. I'm following instructions of my mom-in-law. I remember them very well. So the first side you cook on medium to high, on good medium, under the lid. And once you turn it over, the second side, when you cook a second side, no lid anymore, and you reduce heat to medium low. I am getting late for my promised 1 o'clock delivery to neighbor. Actually, I should hurry up. Turn over and reduce the heat. Okay. Hi, I'm just about to leave the pie.
Okay.
Just about to bring it.
It's no meat inside.
Super. Yet another plate of food from my neighbor. Pasta with courgettes. Some cheese sit out. There it is. So the first one went to neighbor. I quickly make another one to show you how it looks inside. Shouldn't take long. Ooh, hot. Extremely easy, very practical thing. The dough keeps in the fridge for a few days, so you can make a fresh hot one as required, or you can reheat them if they're left by any chance, which doesn't happen often. You can reheat them next day in the microwave. You can freeze the dough. But these days I try to make it when we have big gatherings. They're good served as appetizers, cut like that, and small slices, something to snack on. Mind you, they are quite filling, so slice or two people can have. Great crowd pleasers, I would say they are. So do try and make them. See you in my next video.